Should you start a coaching business or an agency business? Which is better? Which is more profitable? What's easier to work with? And what gives you the most money? I'm going to share with you everything in this video, okay? So listen on. So my name is Dev Sethi. I run two businesses, right? One is a coaching business, one's a service agency business. And I'm going to give you my perspective on how I actually ran these two business. And if you're wondering, hey, you're in a job and you're not sure what to do, or if you're thinking of starting a business, hey, which one's actually better? So let me actually show you this, okay? So I'm going to draw it up as well. So before I draw, let me share with you, what's a coaching business? A coaching business is a business where you actually take your skills, your knowledge, your experience, and you teach someone. Yeah. What's a service agency business? Literally same thing. You use your knowledge, sales, experience, whatever you've got, and you do it for someone. Okay. So let's look at the difference between the two, and I'll share with you what business you might want to be in and what you should consider as a start and as a later. So here it is. Okay. So let's draw it up. The first one is a coaching business. Okay. So you can see coaching, and one is an agency business. So what is a coaching business? A coaching business can be anything that you teach, okay? So it's a business that you actually teach, okay? You teach someone what you did to get your results, okay? Literally, that's what coaching is. Agency business could be businesses like digital marketing agency, could be ads running agency, could be funnel building agency, could be branding agency, could be anything, could be sales, could be anything. But the difference between that is you are mainly doing it for them. Okay, so what we call is you're actually, it's a done for you business. A DFY here means it's a done for you business. This is like a done with you kind of a business. When you're teaching someone, they have a bit of a problem, they come, they talk to you. Literally these two. Where do you have more money? I will talk about that in a moment, okay? Let me share with you the risks first, okay? So look, the coaching business here, one of the key aspects of a good coaching business is it's not too heavy on your time. Okay, you can make it very light on your time, you can make it really heavy on your time as well. Okay, so let's say that time, involvement, right? When we say involvement, it's actually, low to medium. Low to medium. And when you start in the beginning, it could actually be very high because you're doing one-on-one. But you know what? Let's keep it low to medium in the long run. Agency, what happens here is because it's a done for you, they are expecting you to do the work for them. So you're going to actually have a lot of involvement. Your time is going to be there. Your team's time is going to be there. So time is actually going to be really high. Okay, so make sure you actually think about this when you're going to charge someone something. Now, in an agency business, right, one aspect that you got to really understand here is if you're doing it for someone, it is very easy to sell. Very easy to sell agency business. If you're struggling, right, to actually sell your agency services, whether it's a ads agency, funnel building, taking photographs for people, anything that you do for someone, it's very simple to sell, okay, compared to coaching. Now, here's the difference. If you cannot sell, there is a problem with an aspect, which I will talk about in a moment. But in coaching business, right, it's relatively getting a little harder to sell. It's not hard, it's getting harder just purely because there's so many players in the market, right? And people are now wondering who's right, who's wrong, who should I believe, who should I not believe. So the market's getting pretty saturated. Not really saturated, but from the eyes of a client, they're looking like, man, I've got 10 people, who do I choose from? So from the eyes of a client, they're like, hey man, there's like 10 people, there's so many people. But if you're really able to really separate yourself out in a very unique way, and I'll show you how to do it in a moment, that will get you clients. Guaranteed. Okay, let's look at what is something better within coaching and agency. Are you liking this video? Hey, comment your questions below if you have anything, like as well. And I've got lots of notes here. I've got everywhere written here on the whiteboard to actually help you as well. I'm using the pen here to really talk that to you. So look, let me give you a bit of a aspect as to why I'm sharing this also, right? I run a coaching business, which is teaching people how to build a six-figure business, right? How to position themselves, how to make an offer, and how to actually close. When I started as just sales. I started closing sales for someone else, right? So that is sort of, I was trading my time like a done for you. So yes, I was a sales closer working for someone. So when I started, you can sort of say I was sort of like an agency where I was selling my time and I was saying, hey, I'll close sales for you. So they were expecting me to do it for them. Now I've transitioned into teaching people how to build a business, position themselves, really find clients that really want your services. So you see the difference. So when you're starting out, I would encourage you, if you don't have enough experience, okay, get some experience. And how to get experience is really, you go to someone and you actually say, look, I will actually do it for you, don't worry about paying, I will just get the experience. Okay, so in agency business, you're actually selling your time. Now, what that means is, when you are actually selling your time and you are saying, I will do everything for you, pay me a bit later, pay me commissions only, it's very simple to sell, but it's actually harder to please the client. Okay, so in here, what you're going to actually get is, you're going to actually get very difficult clients. Okay, you're going to deal with a lot of difficult clients. People are actually going to blame you a lot. Okay, you're going to be blamed for a lot. So if you are wondering that, hey man, I'm starting and why do I have all these clients very bad blaming me? Because look, the agency business, even when you're starting out, when you're seeking experience, you're not at the level they want you to play, right? So they come in with all sorts of, requests for you, and you're like gaining experience. So I say, when you're starting off, just take on as much experience. If someone's grumbling, listen from one side, take out the other, just focus on your work. You want to gain experience. Now, when you gain experience, you have now something which I call intellectual property, right? You've got the knowledge, you've got something that now you can take that and now you can teach someone else. Okay, so when you're teaching someone else, you want to actually you will find difficult clients in coaching as well. But what happens in a coaching industry is, you have to show people the results that you have got, and you have to teach people the way you have got the results. So what I did first is, before I opened up a coaching business, I was closing sales for someone else, right? I did sales for good 2 years. And in that 2 years, I took 4,000 phone calls, about almost 1 to 1.5 hour each call. You do the maths, right? That's almost 6,000 hours plus. I was actually doing that for 18 months straight, till I won a global champion award. Now I have credibility. Now I show that I have actually done it. Now I'm coming to teach. What am I teaching? I'm going to teach you how I did it. And when I started teaching people how to actually close sales, I then started showing, people started asking me, hey, can you teach me now how to build a business? And then it transitioned. Now I could teach how to start a business because I had built a business. So if you're going to be a coach, make sure, number one, really important, you've actually done the work. Number two, you've got a method, your style. And number three, you know how to get people results. And when you get this right, you get good clients that stay with you for longer. Of course, every now and then you'll get some bad clients as well, which is normal, okay? But when you're doing an agency, one thing I want you to understand, they are paying you money for results. And if you don't give them results in the way you promised them, or the way they're like, hey man, it's very expensive, you're not giving me any results, I'm paying you every single month. The risk here is very high, where they say, we don't want your service anymore. So in agency, the risk is really high. So I run an agency which I go to bigger corporations now, and I actually build the sales team. I look at their sales process. I show them how they can actually make an extra $1 million in their business through an outbound process, through training the team, through maximizing offers. Now that's a strong promise. There's a lot of pressure now because I charge based on the results. Now, what happens to clients here is, the risk is quite high, is if the cash flow of the business is not very good. You're going to be the first person to sort of say, hey, we don't want your services, we are reducing costs. So the risk from an agency is, if the business is going to cut cost, you're going to be the first one to go. So what you want to do is, you want to charge relatively, and I'm going to share with you how to charge in a moment. But in a coaching business, what people tend to do is, they need support all the time. You're there to answer their questions, make them think, make them realize that even they can do it. And if you're really good at this and they can get the results by themselves through your help, they will stick around. Okay, so the risk is there, but it's a little bit lower. Okay, can you see that now? So comment below, what type of business are you running? Are you running a coaching business? Are you running an agency business? Right? So comment your questions. You might have a lot of questions now. Just comment below. Okay. So I will give you the answer based on my experience. So like I said, I've run two types. One is a coaching and mentoring business in helping people build a 6-figure business per year, and a consulting business, which is consulting sales and growing the sales team and adding another $1 million. So either way, you comment below. If you're a marketing agency, funnel building marketing agency? Just put all your questions below. I'll help you answer. Okay. Now, how much do you charge? Here is the great question. Let me draw it up for you, right? When you are starting off initially, okay, you don't have much experience. Don't worry about the price. I say work for experience. Whether you are an agency or a coach, if you don't have experience, it's going to be very hard to coach someone. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to go work for a coach. Get the experience, work for free, volunteer. Okay. Once you do that, you've got the experience. Now, I would encourage you in an agency, if you're going to charge someone, for example, I'm just going to make a figure up. The problem with agency here is this. Let me draw this graph up for you. So if this is actually, if you're looking here, if this is actually time, yeah, and this is actually sort of your cost, okay? As time goes by, when you are growing in an agency, the more clients you actually get, the cost also goes up. Okay, you really want to look at this, because with time, when you're growing, okay, when you're growing, your cost also increases. So you look at that, that's your profit. You want to understand this, okay, that as you grow, as you bring on more clients, your cost to deliver the service also increases. Agency, that's the problem. Okay, so you want to be able to charge a higher value for your time. Now, the problem here is this: if you're starting off new and you're not making a strong promise, you cannot charge as high. And when you enter someone brand new, and they're not going to pay you as high because they don't know who you are. And here's the bigger problem, right? When you start somewhere, to increase the price with the same client, it's even tougher. But there's a trick. What you want to do is, if you've got like 10 services, okay, write this down. If you've got 10 services in your agency business, okay, so if this is, let's say, agency, yeah, and that's your coaching business. If you've got 10 services in your agency business, what you want to be able to do, and this is exactly what I did, okay? So I did not give all 10 services. I just gave one service. I said, let's do it for 3 months, right? So I charged not very high. I charged a bit low as a foot in the door. When they got results, I'm like, look, I can do a few more services for you. And then I started adding on more price. So here's the trick with agency, right? When you're taking the same client and you want to increase the price on that client, you will not be able to increase without more value to them. But if you find a brand new client and you got results, you can automatically go to the high price. You got it? That's the agency. Now, agency, you have to look at it as well. It's a limitation on your time. If you're doing agency, let's just say you're servicing one person, takes you like 4 hours a day. I'm just making it up. That means per day, you can take only 2 clients. And if you're servicing that client once a week, means you can take 2 clients a day. And if you work 5 days a week, you can take 10 clients. 10 clients a month. That's all. And if you build a team, your cost goes higher. You now need to reduce your profit that you take, give it to your team, but you can bring in more clients. So you got to work with that number. As a coach, right? As a coach is actually it makes it a lot more simpler. As a coach, you can charge a good price. Okay, if you've got a good result, get people in. There is a bit of a value ladder that again you can bring people in. When you bring people in through that value ladder and they start seeing results, they stick with you. And because you're doing a group coaching as a group, initially you might start one-on-one, but when you do as a group coaching together, you see, it's the same 1 hour you're spending, but now there's 10 clients. That's when your profit margin really increases. So if you're thinking about what business should I do agency, should I do coaching? If you're starting out for the very, very first time, if you do a coach, you may not last because you don't have the experience, you don't have the know-how. Go work for someone, do an agency job, do work for someone, take a bit less, get the results, get the experience, add more value, get testimonials, and then over time, you can then go into a coaching business. So for now, here's the answer: coaching versus agency. You've got the answer. Comment below which one you like, what you want to do. Tell me which areas are you thinking, and if you need help in positioning yourself, getting people to know you more, hey, comment below and I'll make a video to help you as well. Yeah, my name is Dev Sethi, here to help you build a 6-figure business every single year, maximize your profit and grow globally.